My name is Arun Kumar and I am the driver. I'm building Driven Auto Care to be a $1 billion auto repair business, and I'm taking you along for the ride with Driven Diary. So if you want to see behind the scenes of taking a business from zero all the way to a 10-figure valuation, please hit subscribe below and let's get to the episode. I used to follow an Instagram page called Before 5 a.m. Well, I need to make an Instagram page that's called Before 4 a.m. because I'm a competing brand. It's Monday morning, and this will be the first clip for this week's Driven Diary, and let me update you people on what's going on. I have interesting amounts of technician drama going on with Driven Auto Care. I have no traction at all with We Are Driven as far as coaching or ambitious car enthusiast community. I am very much focused too hard, or I have been for the last several months, focused too hard on how to make it make money and less so on the value that I need to create for people. And I can't have that anymore, because I've invested a ton. I've invested tens of thousands, probably over six figures into it in the last 6 months, and I've seen very, very, very little return, like under $5,000. I think I've gotten back in total a couple of coaching clients and about a dozen or maybe a little more network members. But on the flip side, We Are Driven as a brand can also be used very nicely as a dealership. I was able to get my used vehicle retail dealer license a couple weeks ago, last week, and we have some inventory. So I have the Sequoia you saw last week. My Vanquish should be getting delivered today, the cheapest Vanquish in the country. And then I also bought a brick. What do you think it is? What brick would I have bought? Let me show you. So when I was a kid, this came out in like 2000, I think, the old Ford Excursion. And I thought when I was a kid that this was the most badass thing ever. It is a Super Duty based SUV, and this one's covered in bird poop, ignore that. But these things are so sick. They are gigantic. This, like, if I parked that next to this, you'd be like, oh, that's like a little like Chevy S10 or something. But no, I pulled up next to a Suburban in this yesterday, and the Suburban was like this little SUV. The barn doors in the back, these things are so sick. This one, a limited, it is fully freaking loaded. We have heated seats, we have leather, we have captain's chairs, we have wood trim. This thing is freaking badass, dude. So I bought it. I have now experienced it. I drove it like 20 miles yesterday just running some errands after I bought it from the guy. And oh, look at that. That's probably my favorite feature on this whole thing. But yeah, bought it yesterday, drove it around a bit. I have now messaged Andy, my Kansas connection, who's really into the older, lower mile four-wheel drive stuff. We'll see what he says about this. Maybe I wholesale it and you don't even see it another day. Or maybe I actually spend some time with it, fix it up, make it nice. We'll see, because this is about all it needs. Paint. You can see very much faded paint, pretty much every panel of this thing, every upward facing panel. But otherwise, it's in really good shape. Mechanically solid, 164,000 miles, four-wheel drive. Everything works inside. So yeah, that's what we got. And something like that, like I believe I can make, $2,000 to $5,000 from where I bought it to where I can sell it. I think I can make about $2,000 to $5,000. So, I look at that and I'm like, all right, I can fight tooth and nail and do sales calls and all this stuff, where I can just flip cars legally and have this space and utilize it as a branding tool for selling cars. So that's kind of what we're going to do right now. And it's certainly easier, and just have fun with the rest of We Are Driven, and get better at content, get better at driving people to become customers organically, coach more shop owners. That seems to be something where people have a lot of demand for me. So that's what I'm working on. It's Monday morning. Plenty to do this week. Castro Valley is now fully open. The technician actually showed up over the weekend. So that's all for now.
I'm just getting up there.
Yeah. Got space, yeah. This is a interesting geometric problem when you get 3-row SUVs in this tiny shop. But I'm figuring it out. We can get underneath the car, so that's a win. We've got a rainstorm going on out there. Tuesday afternoon, and we are getting done with employee performance reviews. I'm waiting right now for the last set to go down here in San Jose. We have a customer in the lobby, so waiting for them to leave and then get through with that. But it's been really solid so far today. Now I gotta drive home in some very interesting weather. That's all for now. Wednesday morning. I wonder how this works. This looks fancy. Anyways, I'm in a Ford Transit with some giant work thing on the back here. The most useless rear view mirror in history. You can't see anything because that's the work bed. We're driving down to Campbell because Campbell's got the big lift, and we need the big lift for this big vehicle here. Speaking of big vehicles, the Excursion, I am still waiting. I'm hopefully wholesaling that one to Kansas because a low mileage, rust-free, older 4x4 truck-based SUV is actually very valuable out there. I may end up doing this a few times. I made money when I sold my old 7.3 Power Stroke to the same guy I'm trying to sell this Excursion to back in 2022. So I'm trying to do more deals with him. So let's see what we can do. Get him some inventory. He's made good money off both the trucks I've sold him. So trying to get him another one here. Sequoia is what I'm going to be driving back from Campbell because it's just sitting down there. It needs to keep moving, keep the project going forward. So we'll see when I can get that done. And then what else? My Vanquish keeps getting delayed. Now it's tomorrow morning. So I will be back in Fremont tomorrow morning and hopefully getting the Vanquish. That is tying up a lot of my inventory capital right now. So I'd like to get it turned around quickly. We'll see what it needs once it shows up here. Maybe someday I'll be like CarMax. Probably not. That's probably not what I want. But yeah, we finished the performance reviews. That was the last clip you saw. And I was very grateful to see that we don't have a lot of conflict. The reviews were very predictable. People are communicating. My managers are representing the core values of the business. It was the first time we did that. I think it went very well. That's all for now. It is Wednesday evening, and let's see, what's going on? Well, Driven Auto Care, we have 3 shops that are busy. We have 2 shops that aren't so busy. We have a ton. We've got 50 grand worth of work sitting in 2 of the shops right now, basically. And plenty of logistics going on, I'm not even needing to try. We recorded 3 YouTube videos, keeping Hamilton very busy. Also shot a intro to finally finish the confidence inspection training video that's long overdue. I have lots of content ideas. Hamilton is hopefully coming on board at a greater degree, which means we can really crank up our content output. In other news, I am probably going to end up painting this Excursion. I ended up driving the Sequoia back from Campbell as I took that transit down there today. And Sequoia needs a little bit more work still, a little bit of fixing. I made an offer on a Ram, on a Cummins 5.9 Cummins diesel, pre-emissions diesel truck, which they make me sick, but I can't stay away. Let me just show you. I have a lot of satisfaction actually around this. We've got these just big things in here right now, and I kind of like that. I kind of like that we just have big 3-row SUVs and a truck in there. The Vanquish delayed again. It's getting delivered tomorrow afternoon now. It's freaking ridiculous. It's 4 days late. Oh yeah, and then this big saga that came up. So the landlord of the Castro Valley location is who I dealt with in terms of taking over that location, but I also bought a business from him for $3,000. I bought the phone number, the Google listing, and the Yelp page of the business that existed at that location up until 2022. He bought the building and the business in 2022. He leased it out in 2023, the building, without the business, for 2 years to another company. He then kicked that company out. We signed a lease. We got in there. I bought the business that had been deactivated for 3 years for $3,000, and I basically bought a phone number that may or may not ring, depending on whether people look it up. I bought a Google listing, so we got 4.4 stars and 31 reviews, which is better than nothing. I think I'd take that. And then we also were entitled to a Yelp page with a 4.6 and 57 reviews or so over several years, and I wanted that page to run ads on Yelp for much more leads and better traction. But turns out that the landlord didn't actually own the Yelp page. And so for a week now, I have been following up with him and getting ghosted on that status of that Yelp page. Now, separately, we move into this property in Castro Valley, and there is a faucet in a storage room that is leaking. And when he did the walkthrough with us and he gave us the keys, he said, "Oh yeah, fix that, bill me for it." Okay. So we got a plumber out there today, $370 for replacing a spigot in the storage room. And apparently that caused a significant amount of pressure to build up in the line underneath the spigot in the ground, which burst a water line. And so we had to shut off the water to the property, and we now have no water. And we told the landlord to get in touch with the plumber, basically. And he seems to want to fight the plumber. So we don't have water. Separately now, we have observed that the storage room in the back of the main building has a water leak from the walls and the ceiling. And we noted that one of the storage side barn things has massive leaks from the ceiling. It's unusable. So I don't know if this is about to turn into like a big fight with this landlord or what. I've had pretty good relationships with every landlord that I've had, and I expected this one to be the same until he discovered that he didn't actually own the Yelp page that he thought he owned. Or I don't know what. He misrepresented that he had title to that Yelp page. I don't know. I'm not going to assume any ill will. I don't think there is any, but I do think this is a different sort of relationship than I've had with past landlords. So we'll see what happens. I hope I can buy this Dodge Ram. I need another badass truck like that in my life. Throw it in here with all the rest of them. Should get my Mercy back either tomorrow or Friday also. Very excited for that. That's all for now. Castro Valley now has a Yelp page, and I went and accidentally lowballed somebody for a Dodge Ram Cummins on Facebook Marketplace, and he accepted. So that's what's going on in my life right now. Is I bought a truck that I'm gonna go pick up tomorrow, and I, yeah, and I got this Yelp page. So still no water in Castro Valley. Other shops seem to be busy, I think, and yeah, Thursday, just kind of sitting here in the office waiting for things to happen right now. It's kind of a boring time. That's all for now. Friday morning. Got an Aston Martin in the garage and the Tesla relegated outside. Howdy, everybody. Let me explain. All right. So what we have here is a 2008 Ram 2500 Cummins mega cab, you can probably tell, with a custom long bed conversion that's been deleted and tuned and is riding on 38s by 15.5-inch wide tires. And it has probably a 6-inch, maybe an 8-inch lift. And a hood scoop. I don't know if you can see that. I got a hood scoop up there that's not real, completely not functional. I've got some wacky looking bed, like sports bed accoutrement bullshit. I don't know. I have mud flaps that look like just pieces of old tire that have been bolted to the bed. And I have antenna. So when I get out, I'll show you the antenna. I think what's cool about this is the purchase price. So I paid $21,000 for a 08 Ram with 120,000 miles, mega cab. These mega cabs are worth money, and this one has already had the transmission rebuilt. It has no issues that I can see, and I bought it off of a Russian semi-truck mechanic that, like, he was awesome. He was like the most redneck Russian I've ever met. Alexander Maximov. And he was just a dude who had jet skis and side-by-sides and an ambulance that he used as a mobile mechanic work truck. And this was his baby. And he put a ton of work into it to make it just what he wanted. But he stopped using it because he just didn't play with the toys that he had as much as he thought he would. And instead of using this to tow, he was towing with his RV that he had. And so he just never used this. So in the last 10 years, he's put 20,000 miles on it. And today I'm putting 200 miles on it because I have to drive it home from Sacramento. It's very loud. The wheels and tires are very loud, as you can tell. But throughout this video, I don't know if you've seen behind me there was a 6.4 Power Stroke F-250, also very highly lifted truck. My old F-250 that I had a 5-inch lift. And people with lifted trucks, mostly, were still taller than me. This thing, I pulled up next to that very highly lifted Power Stroke, and I was taller. And I have a 22-foot long motherfucking truck. Big old diesel, big old power. This is not me. Like, this is too modified for like my personality, where I want to show up and people actually like respect me. People like in a professional setting, I should say, I want that respect. This truck does not command that kind of respect. This truck commands respect from people who like getting in bar fights, which I don't. So, but nevertheless, I have a huge smile on my face. I have the biggest vehicle on the goddamn road, and I really enjoy this new business where I bought this, and I'm very confident that I will make money selling it. And in the process of buying it, driving it a little bit, I can have a huge smile on my face. Hamilton took the E92 and drove that. He's driving that back to the Fremont shop right now, or the San Ramon shop. We're gonna leave it there because it needs a drive shaft. It's a little clanky and it needs an oil change. And then we will go look at this Vanquish that I bought. I haven't even really looked at the Vanquish yet because I had my son yesterday and then I left the house super early to go get this. But let's go look at that Vanquish. That's all for now. Okay, well, here we are in the Vanquish. Here is the Ram being driven by Ramilton. Ramilton up there is having way too much fun. The Vanquish has low coolant light on. My first impressions, the transmission really is not that bad. We'll see how long I last here before it overheats. Hey. We got Ramilton.
How much is one of those records?
It's Ramilton versus the Vanquish. We're having too much fun. This thing sounds cool. I like my Vanquish. Saturday morning. And I'm here in the office, and this will be the last clip for this week's Driven Diary. Yesterday was hilarious, as you saw, and I'm now sitting here looking at Driven Auto Care performance so far this month. I feel like we're leaving something on the table here because we're busy, but we're not really selling as much as I think we should be. And we may hit $300,000 in sales this month. We're at 236 going into the final week, and we have $50,000 in carryover. So we need to sell an additional $14,000 worth of work and close out everything we've got for the week. So probably doable. I'm sure that balance is going to be off a little because there's work that we need to close out that definitely won't close out this week because parts aren't going to show up. But we'll see. We'll see what happens here. So that's exciting. Exciting. I've got these 4 cars I now need to sell. I'm done buying cars until I can sell cars. So got to get some stuff sold first. And I should be picking up the Mercy today. It doesn't need to be on video. But what will also be on video is right here. We'll put in a clip of the new signage for Castro Valley. So I'm excited to see we're finally branded, fully branded over there, and ready to have our doors open. Last thing that I'm kind of muted about is we got a 1-star review in San Ramon, and it basically says, "Watch your wallets," because these people will overcharge you 3 times over to replace a part that didn't actually fix anything or need to be replaced. And I looked at the repair order, and like this lady came in with a 1995 GMC Astro that she said was complaining of leaking rear barn doors. And we told her to replace the weather stripping, but instead she replaced her steering components for $700 and something. And it was like an hour and a half of labor and parts. $700 and something. And I don't know why she did that. I've emailed the manager to see what he thinks. And yeah, that's it. That'll be all for this week's Driven Diary. I know I'm very muted today, especially. I woke up at like 2 and was thinking too much, but I did manage to get back to sleep. Wake up to my alarm at 2:56. Well, we got no gas, we got no coolant, but we're in this big echoey room next to this big echoey truck. Seems to be okay. Now I gotta get out, which is a whole thing. Oh, slipped on the ground, it's wet out. Oh, all right. Oh. Damn, what a freaking gorgeous car, man. Whoops. Just blowing stuff off the wall with my V12. Whoops. Thank you very much for watching this week's Driven Diary. If you enjoyed it, leave a like. It'll help us show up higher in the YouTube algorithm. If you're not subscribed, get subscribed so you don't miss next week's Driven Diary. And leave a comment if you have any questions or feedback. And until next week, I hope you can go out and continue to build your own automotive dreams and stay driven.